David, did I gather in the book of Esther, I mean, God wasn't really mentioned. Was it mentioned
God
much
is
in the Maccabees?
God is never mentioned in the book of Esther, not once. His name is never issued. There's never a discussion about it. It's one of the reasons why they wanted to remove it and not make it one of the canonical books, the authorized books, and that's why it was not in the Dead Sea Scrolls, because the Essenes didn't believe in it.
Was I mean, Maccabees the same?
No, God is mentioned for dominantly all the way through it, that by God's miracles, and every battle we see, they thank God for what they've done. And if you read the Maccabees 1 through 4, I'm not sure why it wasn't included. 3 and 4 were questionable because it quit mentioning the Maccabees 1 and 2 is all about the miracles that God has done for us. 3 or 4 a little bit less, and it's more about the fighting. It's not so much about the work that God did. But no, it's mentioned all the way through the Maccabees, very much so. Being Torah observant, being observant to the laws and the ordinances all the way through the Maccabees. Where in Esther we don't see that. But I
Thank
think
you.
there's two different lessons to be learned. In Esther, it's a lesson that God will save his people without your assistance. I mean, come on. If you read Esther in Hebrew, you go, man, Esther was not a very good girl, right? I'm sorry, she wasn't. She didn't go in that palace to have a conversation with the king. And they don't call it for one night with the king for nothing, right? It was not about her being a good girl, and she spent a year training to be a very bad girl. But God says, I can work with anybody, and that's the whole purpose with Purim, is God will find a way to save his people. And in the Maccabees, it's about the fact that if we're dedicated to God, he will help us overcome.